First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for coming today, taking time out of your busy lives, and joining us this evening. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Randy Brockman, the co-founder and CEO of EdgeConneX, and it's an honor to speak with most of you individually tonight, and a real pleasure that you all came and joined us here. I guess I get to make the declaration, which is probably not new news to those of you in Portland, but the cloud has arrived in Portland. In spite of 164 days a year of a little bit of rain, it's really just recently that the technology cloud has arrived in Portland. And we're going to spend about 25-30 minutes with some panelists talking about what that means. But we're really excited. We're really excited to be, quite frankly, the enabler to help make that happen here in the state of Oregon, in Hillsborough, and quite frankly for a big chunk of the Pacific Northwest. So thank you all, and thank you all for all the folks that helped make that happen. A little bit about EdgeConneX. When we embarked on this journey to build out a set of high-tech infrastructure at the edge of the network, it was first and foremost to bring content to the consumer. We did that over the last couple of years, and we no sooner finished that battle when the enterprise said, hey, what about me? And the cloud folks said, you know, that's the next thing we need to do, is to bring the cloud to the enterprise, just as we brought content to the consumer. I believe our panelists today are going to share with you what that means. It was interesting, just yesterday, there was some articles published about how important it is to enterprises and what's happening. Some of the network companies are seeing 20, 30, 40% of all their growth happening in terms of connecting enterprises to the cloud. And the reason for bringing it local was interesting. The enterprises were finding a need for more security, higher speed, lower latency, and predictable quality of service. And the article that came out yesterday said that the speed and security have improved by over 50%, which is pretty remarkable. And I know that our panelists are going to touch on those themes. I'd like to thank our sponsors. We have 5 sponsors here. Most of you have been circling the room, and I saw most of you stop over at the table. Sienna, Electric Lightwave, Science Logic, Opus Interactive, and Megaport. So thank you all for doing this and allowing us to have an open bar tonight. So here to you. To make sure we take advantage of that open bar, and I think they're going to be setting up some food stations by the looks of it. We're going to encourage you all to stay because partway through the cocktail hour, we're going to be raffling off 2 or 3 hot air balloon trips. Wait for a good day here in the Portland-Hillsborough area. So stick around, and we'll be raffling those off later this evening. We do have a couple of dignitaries here with us. State Senator Chuck Riley, thank you for coming. And then my pleasure to hand the microphone over to the Mayor of Hillsborough. Jerry, please join us. Jerry Woodley, thank you.
Thank you, Randy. And it's fun to be here. It's most fun, I think, for a couple of reasons. One is because this is a Hillsborough business that we're announcing and enjoying a grand opening in Portland. So I always let the Portland mayor know that I'm on his turf and it doesn't bother me. But it's also interesting, quite frankly, that we talk about the cloud. And you know, if you've been in Portland or been in Oregon very long, we have a different definition for the cloud. And you're seeing the liquid cloud out there right now. And for our generation to be able to transfer that kind of that mindset from the rain and the dreariness of cloud to what we're talking about today, it is tremendously interesting to me. So I'm pleased to be the mayor of a city that embraces technology, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about that in my spiel, and I'll be done in just about, Leslie gave me 2 minutes. She just gave me the heads up. Traditionally, the leading edge sectors in Oregon and Hillsborough have involved semiconductors, electronics, computers, telecommunications, and certainly the related sectors of that. What we're seeing now is not only a change in how our information is distributed and used, but a change in our economies. Technological innovation is placing a greater emphasis on knowledge-based industries, including data centers and the resulting data analysis and global communications infrastructure. It's got a nice breeze. With new products and new processes come new avenues for investment and growth. Hillsboro's high-tech companies have benefited from that change, helping to drive the region and the state's jobs, revenues, and certainly our economic development. Hillsboro is often referred to as the Silicon Valley because of all of our high-tech industries, which call our city home, and we've a proven track record of how we support those businesses. We've been successful in recruiting and efforts for several reasons, some of which we don't control, like the weather, but most of which is a result of careful planning. We work in a common sense regulatory environment with the goal of helping business succeed, and we encounter problems. When we encounter problems, the mantra is we get to yes. That's what our goal is. A combination of tax incentives and of course low energy, and I'm preaching to the choir here, costs and available infrastructure is what makes Hillsboro particularly attractive to this industry. So we love new business development. We target the new economy and certainly knowledge-based companies whose business models are driven by technology. EdgeConneX is diversifying and helping us to diversify certainly our high-tech base. And we are extremely pleased to welcome EdgeConneX into the city of Hillsboro, and we commit to you to do everything we can to make you successful, because when you're successful, we're successful. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys. So my name is Clint Hyden. I'm with EdgeConneX, and I'm going to run us through a panel. I'm going to try to control this. They refer to themselves as experts. No, that's my son. That's my son. Yeah, that's my son. Oh, and in fact, do I need this mic? I know. Leslie, that'll be for the crowd for the Q&A. So we're going to go through a little. We're going to have each of these folks introduce themselves, their company, in just a moment. But you know, you've heard from Randy and others about what's going on with technology and how the cloud has now come to Hillsboro/Portland. And we do feel very welcomed by the city of Hillsboro. But if you think about how we got here and what's going on, I'm just going to give you one stat because I don't want to talk too much about it. And there are millions of stats to reference. But if you go back to 1970 and you think of IoT, right? IoT is starting to drive, the Internet of Things starting to drive. How do we do compute? How do we consume data? What it means to security and latency and other things. In 1970, we had two things on the internet. That was it, two things. It's projected in 2020 that we'll have 80